All right, so I'm John Arntz. I'm the Director of Elections in San Francisco. And again, we're doing these outdoor presentations as part of our response to COVID because some people aren't able to or don't want to leave home or come to a public setting. So we're going to do these outdoor presentations since there's better air circulation and more space for social distancing. So today we've released the 8th report for this election, and there's 18,209 votes added to this report from yesterday's report. Then as far as District 1 is concerned, there's 976 more votes added for District 1. And I've got a... You guys were asking yesterday. Press release. But we still have around 10,000 ballots to process. Most of those are the provisional ballots. We still do have around 4,000 vote by mail. Most of those came from the post office on Monday. Also from other counties, we haven't processed those. 100 faxed ballots from overseas military voters we have to process. We have not processed the national voter registration ballots yet. On those ballots so we can process. And our canvas is as we do that, especially for District 1, if we find like a vote by ballot, put in the, we'll find those, we'll bring those here for processing. Called the auxiliary bin. Paper jam when voters were there and they couldn't tabulate their ballots. Went into the auxiliary bin, and then the poll workers didn't follow up and run the cards. Run those. They're accounted for in the election, and that's kind of where we're at now. So once we get through the provisionals and the CVRs and the VBMs, Monday-ish, then we're down. So again, we have until the 20th for voters to get their ballots to us to cure signature issues. Then there's days before I certify, we can receive ballots from the public before day. There's 2 before I certify, during which we still receive ballots cure signature issues by the voters. So I won't certify before November 20th, but if we don't have anything coming to us for cures from the, then I would look soon thereafter, most likely. And that's District 1. There's 156 challenged vote by mail ballots. More than half of those are voters. Those are ballots that we're contacting voters, either it be by email, by phone if we have that information. Sent them all hard copy notices in the mail. Leave you information on that. And that's where we're at. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I do have a few. Thank you. So let me start from where you just 56 challenge by mail.
Correct.
And so you're contacting voters, those 56. Most of those are signature issues.
Yeah.
And once you get those squared away in your mind, then those will be counted.
Right.
Okay. And then you mentioned there are 90 for conditional voter registration, 90 of which have been accepted. So those 90 also have to be counted in D1 also, right?
Correct.
So we're looking at the 156, the 90. You don't know how many of the vote by mails apply to District 1. We talked about that yesterday.
Well, no, not. I don't.
Were there any other provisionals that were counted today?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think we got through the D1 yesterday. I'll have to ask and find out. I can tell you tomorrow, but I think that if there are any D1 provisionals left, it's not many. It's just a handful.
Okay. So if there are any, it would be very few.
Right.
Do you know how many EVMs arrived today from the post office for you guys?
No, I mean, it was like 8, or no, it was a little more than that. It wasn't a lot. I think I can't remember the number. It wasn't very many, and I think like less than 10 had valid signatures on them. It's in my press release, which I didn't bring out with me.
Okay, so the ones that had the valid signatures, their postmark was okay. So
Right.
just trying to get an idea of what for D1. It sounds like since you've got 4,000 vote buyers in the way they're going, there's probably a D1. There's the 156 challengeable by mail and the 90 condition. That seems the approximate totality of votes that are left in D1.
And then if any of the ballots from military overseas are from D1, that could.
Are those for a certain the overseas military?
Postmarked, yeah, on or before. These are actually overseas back to us. To keep up with processing those, go through the cycle, so we have 100 of those in a tray. We have to actually, we call it a remake. We have to transfer the voter intent from the fax pieces of paper onto an actual ballot, then run those actual ballots through the tabulators. But I don't know how many for D1. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, and just for my edification, if there is a recount, if the campaign pays for a recount, how do you know about recounting the ballots as opposed to what's being done in your normal process? Do you hand count them as opposed to by machine now, or how does that work?
So the requester whoever requests the recount determines how the recount occurs. So let's say the campaign wants the ballots hand counted, and then we would hand count the ballots. If they want the ballots run through machines, we'd run them through the machines.
Okay, and the hand count is a more expensive count, I would assume.
Yeah, especially with the ranked choice. Right.
And have you found in your experience, you've probably never done a recount, but is there more scrutiny given the ballots in a hand count, that there's more likelihood that ballots will be disallowed because you'll notice something that you wouldn't notice in a regular tally?
Comment.
Okay.
I mean, really, if you want to recount the ballots, we'll look in the past on president's concern.
Yeah. Campaign is probably
Right.
part of that calculation, I would imagine, is what sort of scrutiny is given a ballot. If the likelihood is that it's going to be the exact same because they're looking for the same exact thing, whether there was a circle marked in, as opposed to, well, there are other factors when you do it by hand that you would be looking at that might not necessarily be seen in a normal count.
Yeah, I mean, there's been no request for recount at this point, so I have no comment on recount whatsoever.
Have you guys ever done a recount, as far as you know?
In 2000 was the last one we had in San Francisco.
2000. Okay. All right, and you'll be back again tomorrow on Sunday.
Every day that we do results reporting, we'll be out here 4 o'clock.